Oh man. Hold up, we going. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You already know the vibes, me, sir. Me dog. Chill out, me dog. What is going on, my friends? It is your boy, John Quick of the Talk That Lingo crew, where we absolutely talk that lingo very fast. And like I always say, we're gonna have a great show. But like I always say, it is absolutely harder to keep money than to get it. And it's a reason why I always say that every show. Well, because it's harder to keep money than it is to actually get it. So I'm gonna break that down for y'all. It's harder for you to actually keep the money that you get than it is for you to go out there and keep. I messed that all up. But it is harder to keep money than to get it. Nonetheless, we got a terrific show for y'all. I'm gonna add my brother really up here in a minute, but just want to give y'all a little bit of what we're gonna be talking about today. This conversation is for people who are between the ages of 26 and 36. If you are not between the ages of 26 and 36, scroll on by this video, scroll on by this live stream, pass it, send it, share it to somebody who is between the ages of 26 and 36. If you are not in between those ages, none of this is gonna make sense to you. It might make sense to you. But honestly, I really could care less if it does or if it doesn't. Got my brother Red. What's going on, my brother? How you living out here, man?
Good, bro.
Let me tell you something. That light that you got behind you is insane. It is insane.
Let me fix it, bro.
Is there any way that you can be on the other side of the light? Because the light is very, very bright in your camera. Looks like we may have lost him. Looks like he got bigger issues than just that goddamn bright light right there. I'm gonna give him a moment to get that squared away. But as he's squaring that away, it is what, 7 o'clock right now, 6:50 on the East Coast, but close to 7 o'clock. Hopefully you all are drinking right now. I'm gonna be drinking. You already know I'll be drinking something different every time we do the show. Tonight I'm going to be drinking a Moscato Italian sparkling wine right here. This bottle is from one of those things. You know how you go to either a baby shower, or you go to somebody's wedding, or you go to somebody's what do they call? What do they call those things? Whatever. You go to a shindig, right? Or a birthday party or something like that, and they give you a complimentary small little bottle to go home with, right? Well, this is one of those bottles, and I'm not exactly sure where I actually received this. This says, "Thank you for making my birthday so special. Love, Danny." So it actually looks like I got this from my mom. Hi, Mom. Sorry about that. But I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy it for sure. And then, as y'all know, I'll always drink out of a cup with some ice in it. All of the cups in my dishwasher have not been processed and dishwashed yet. So I'm drinking out of a measuring cup today. All right. Make sure y'all put in the comments. Let me know what y'all drinking today. I'm drinking some Italian sparkling wine from my mom's birthday. I don't even know how old it is, but they say wine ages with time. So hopefully it's still good. And actually, this wine bottle is hot. It's room temperature, so I had to put some ice into the measuring cup I'm going to be drinking out of. Really, what's going on, my brother? Are you here with us? Are you here with us? What you doing?
I'm here, bro. I'm here. You got me
You
muted
here?
though. I'm here.
Oh man, that light did not get any better, my guy.
Yo, you go. I'm gonna have to change it again, bro.
Is there any way you could have like the back of the phone be towards the light?
Let me see.
Like, let's say you put the phone right under the light. Put the phone right under the light.
Right under the light.
That's gas right there. That's gas right there. That's gas right there.
All right, bro. I got you.
Let me see. Yes, sir. Oh, you just about there. You just about there. As really is getting that together. Really, you want to tell the people what you drinking tonight because they may have some misconceptions of what you normally be drinking. Let me tell you that. You want to tell the people what you drinking tonight, my brother?
1800. I'm drinking 1800. It's simple.
If y'all don't know, my brother likes to drink Sky Vodka, but today he's made a switch to 1800. I know a lot of y'all tequila drinkers out there live and die by 1800. I like 1800 a lot, but if I was going for tequila, it definitely wouldn't be Casamigos, and we could talk about that. Casamigos is actually the worst tequila known to man. Actually, Casamigos is not a good tequila. It's a horrible tequila. I like Terramana. You ever had Terramana?
I did.
You did? Or you did it?
Yeah, I did. It's good.
Or I'm about to say, you like Terramana over Casamigos, or what you like, Casamigos?
I like them both, but I prefer Terramana for sure.
Yeah, facts. Casamigos give me like a headache. It's so weird. I could never, ever drink Casamigos. All right, so we opening this bad boy up. Oh, it's a screw top. I thought it was a pot top. It's sparkling wine I'm drinking right here, Red. I got sparkling wine. It's sparkling Italian wine. It's supposed to be like a Moscato. And I don't know if you know.
He's sweet.
I'm drinking out of this what's this called? A measuring cup, because all of my other glasses are dirty. And then also I have to put an ice cube in here because this is hot. So
it is what it is.
It is what it is. It's all going down the same, right?
Right.
Damn, shit smell. What's going on, my brother? So we was having. Oh, that's perfect. So we was having a conversation, about some of the crazy nonsense that's going on right now in the world. As we know, gas prices went up. It skyrocketed. And actually, what I did see yesterday is that there was at least one gas station that went down in price. So I was riding by this gas station. I saw that it was priced at $4.45 roughly. Literally 2 or 3 hours later, I passed that same gas station and the price had dropped from $4.45 to $4.35. Well, that is not a significant jump. It could be an indication of something. However, it could also be an indication that it's going to go down and go back up, right? A lot of gas stations have now implemented it's something called like they're basically dipping into their emergency reserve, so they can bring down the price of gas a little bit. How long that's going to be able to be sustained, who knows? But really, give me your thoughts on some of this gas price fiasco that we're seeing in the world today, not just in America, but in the world today.
So what I was saying before was, think about the green plan and the green plan that Biden want to, basically proceed with. Okay. So if you have a green plan, the best way to go about it is to make everything go up. And we was talking about war, and you gave a very, 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 very good reply to what I said. Because you can suffer in war too. Like it's not just money. It's not just money being made. Sometimes you gotta give something up to see can you still win, and you can still fall.
Yeah.
So since this war is going on, and we get our oil from Russia, right? So that's why the gas price high. But also, if you push in a green plan, you want the gas prices to be high because now people going thinking about all electric vehicles. That's what they're going to think about.
Okay.
It's going to be cheaper. The reason why it's going to be cheaper because gas costs so much.
Right.
That's basically what you got there.
Well, let me help you out a little bit. For those who don't know, obviously you guys weren't privy to our conversation prior to the podcast beginning, but essentially we were talking about it costs so much money to go to war. It costs a lot of money to go to war. And we're gonna get into
I spent like 40 one way, bro.
Yeah, we're gonna get into the new Green Deal, whatever it is that Biden is, but I'm gonna give you guys just a little bit of background here. So really was telling me how it is expensive to go to war, right? And it is very expensive to go to war. And he was telling me that they probably will move forward with this war because so many people were making so much money from the war. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you got people making money from the war, but in fact, it costs so much money to go to war that we could actually be in danger of losing all of our money. It reminds me of the same very thing that happened to Russia when they sold the U.S. Alaska. So I mentioned to Ridley, I'm like, do you remember or do you know how the U.S. obtained Alaska?
Yeah.
Literally the Alaskan state, it was a Russian colony. I don't know if it was a colony, if it was a state. Literally Alaska was owned by Russia. Russia owned Alaska. Now, Russia was fighting a war that they were losing. They were fighting the war, and it's very important who they were fighting the war against. They were fighting a war against Britain. The Russians were fighting a war against Britain. They were losing this war, right? But they were making so much money from Alaska due to the otter population and the furs and things like that. The Russians were really, really big on furs. We thought Nicky Barnes and Frank Lucas was the ones who brought furs to America. No, Russia was huge on furs. That's how they were getting a lot of their money, right? So they're in this war against Britain, and they're losing this war. They're losing this war so bad as they were losing money. They were losing money due to this war, and they were running out of money. The entire country of Russia was running out of money. So they were trying to figure out a way, how can we fund this war? Well, we own Alaska, and Alaska, the fur trade has dried up at this point in time. We need to sell this land to someone so we can fund this war against Britain. Now, what was happening in this war is that they wanted to sell Alaska to somebody. The best person to sell Alaska to was Canada at the time, because as y'all know, Alaska is connected to Canada, right? So they were saying, we're going to sell Alaska to Canada. However, the British owned Canada at the time. So if you sold Alaska to Canada, essentially you were selling Alaska to the people you were fighting the very war against, to the people you were losing the war against, not just fighting the war against, you were losing the war against these people, right? So what was happening was you had these Russians who were like, listen, we have to sell Alaska to somebody. We can't sell it to Canada because British owns Canada. The very next person, the best person in line after Canada to sell Alaska to would have been the US at the time. Russia wound up selling the US Alaska. They wound up selling Alaska to the US for $7.5 million or something around that effect. $7.5 million they sold Alaska to the US for. Russia had no idea how much oil reserve Alaska was sitting on. They had no idea, not to even mention there was gold there, there was silver there, there was all sorts of natural resources that we could use and that we effectively use on a day-to-day basis. So they had no idea that lithium, like lithium ion batteries and stuff like that, all of that stuff is in Alaska. And the Russians had no idea at the time. So they sold Alaska to the US for $7.5 million. Fast forward till today. The US has made billions and billions and billions and billions. They have made back their initial investment of $7.5 million 100 times over. Now you got people in Russia who are saying, we want Alaska back. We only lent it to y'all. We want it back now, right? And the only reason why I brought that up is because it shows that, yes, while it is very, very lucrative for countries to go to war, and some companies do benefit from countries going to war, the bigger the powerhouse that you're going to war against, the easier it is for your country to lose money. So if the US and Russia were to go to war, Russia or the US are gonna, one of the two of us are gonna lose money. Yes, it costs a lot of money to go to war. Yes, there's gonna be some companies who make money during the war, but somebody is gonna lose so much money. You make more money in peace than you do at war. That's just a fact. It costs so much. You got to remember, when you are at war, it costs you money. It costs you money to go to war. You don't make money from war as a country. You don't make money from war. You make companies money from war. You don't make your country money from war. The way your country makes money is through peace and prosperity. Now that everybody is caught up, right? Rid, you were saying something about the Green New Deal, and I'm gonna let you enter here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and explain a little bit more. But go ahead, I'm gonna let you jump in here.
Okay, so what I was saying was basically you have Tesla, you have there's so many different new electric vehicles and electric all vehicle companies. So it's all electric. So it's a new market.
Sure.
So that new market, you need people invested in it. Okay. So the smart way for someone to get invested in that type of market when there's not many people that's interested currently is to cause issues with your regular use of, gasoline.
Okay.
So when you do that, you force people to make a decision. You see all these memes about if it go any higher, I'm gonna be walking. So what you gonna do? Like basically, like what you gonna do? You have only got two choices. Well, three.
Yeah. No, for sure. And if y'all don't know what the Green New Deal is, essentially it is a way to have a lot of these petroleum dependent devices or petroleum dependent machinery transition from petroleum to either electricity or just some form of energy that's not petroleum. Because as you can see, petroleum runs the world. Now, the reason why gas prices are up so high definitely has something to do with this Green New Deal. And Biden absolutely needs to answer for what he's doing to the American people. Regardless of where you stand on the Republican and Democrat side of things, Joe Biden has to lead this country a little bit better, probably a whole lot more better. But he needs to do a better job than what he's doing, because what he's effectively doing is running this country right into the ground. Because guess what's going to happen if gas prices continue to go up? Guess what's going to happen if Russia is sitting on a ton of oil and nobody can tap into it? Guess what's going to happen with the American dollar because I'm going to tell you right now, all, if not most, of the oil in the entire world, that means literally from your house around the globe and back to your house, every place in between, every place in every country pays for their oil in dollars, right? Here's the thing. If we cut Russia out of the system, and there is a lot of oil in Russia, even though we're only getting 4% of our oil from Russia. 4% is a huge percent. That's a huge, you know how many people 4% of the US population is? You know how many people that is? That's a lot of people. This Italian sparkling wine got me gassed. Oh my goodness, it got me geeking. My goodness. Essentially, it's a lot of people. 4% is a lot of people, right? So if you cut out 4% of the oil supply around the world, well, you have to make up for that 4% not being able to get oil, right? If you are able to effectively put in a Green New Deal like Joe Biden was able to do, effectively put in a Green New Deal plan, and then all of a sudden the price of gas goes up, what are you now doing? After you have all of these people relying on oil, you're putting the gas price up to implement your Green New Deal. How does that affect our economy in the U.S.? Well, it affects it horribly. It affects it terribly, because guess what? If gas goes up, so does everything else. Literally everything else. From the price of food, the price of milk, eggs, clothes, everything goes up. Everything goes up. It's so funny because I see a lot of entrepreneurs who are like, oh my God, the gas prices went up. I'm sorry, prices gotta go up. My boy, gas prices been up for 2 damn weeks, and you've been selling me this bullshit excuse about how you gonna raise prices on me. First of all, I don't like how people raise prices with very minimal added value. You can't raise a price on somebody and not add value. That's what we're doing here at the Talk That Lingo Podcast. We're adding value. Now, it may not be valuable for you because you may already know this information, but that's the point of us starting this podcast, to add value to people's lives, because there are things out there that people have no idea that's happening. There's so many things that I want to talk about, and there's so many things that I'm sure Ridley wants to talk about that he absolutely cannot talk about. And same here. But really, I'm gonna let you jump back in here with this Green New Deal. Give me more information on this Green New Deal.
So basically, what he was saying, I'm just gonna go off of the dollar is definitely going to just be nothing eventually, and this is why we have cryptocurrency.
Okay.
Because eventually, that cryptocurrency is going to be your money. It's going to be your money. It's not going to be no paper, no change, no nothing. I'm not going to get into the rest of the reason because that's something I'm not doing it. But it's going to be crazy for sure. Like everything going to be digital. Like your money is just going to be your crypto.
Right.
You know, that's basically going to be it. If y'all look, when you create an account on our crypto website, you can see the dollar, US dollar, that's digital. You know, it's digital already.
I'm gonna jump in here because for those of you who are scared to invest in crypto, listen to what Ridley just said. The US dollar is already digital. Let me tell you something. Listen, we have been moving with digital money for years. Look in your wallet right now, your wallet has a digital card. What is that card called? Either a debit card or a credit card. Well, my friend, when you swipe that credit card, you never hand somebody your actual cash. You don't hand somebody your cash. You take a credit card which has a record of the cash that you have, swipe it, and money gets digitally transferred from your account to someone else's account, whether that be your account to a store, your account to another person, peer-to-peer type of thing, like Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, even Zelle. You got all types of these peer-to-peer paying, Apple Pay. You are already using digital money. You're already using digital money. When you take out a loan at the bank, that's digital money. When you take out a school loan, that's digital money. When you pay for something online, you know how you go to a restaurant, Red, and you got to order ahead and you pay ahead on the app?
Yeah.
That's digital money. It's all digital. It's all digital. They mask it in a way and they tell you, oh, this is crypto. Crypto is risky. You know what's risky? The digital dollar that you already have in the form of a debit card or a credit card. It's all digital. You know how you get a gift card? You go to the store, you buy somebody a gift card. Digital. That's digital. It's all digital. Every form of currency on this earth is digital. Everything. But you're going to listen to people telling you that crypto is risky. Wait. Okay, so you mean to tell me that there is a currency that exists on a computer that you cannot touch, but you can pay people with, but you just can't physically touch it? But yet you're scared of crypto. Like literally, I want you to do something right now, and I'm talking to you. If you are watching this right now, I'm talking to you. I want you to do something. Yeah, you, not me, not really. I want you to do something. Whoever is watching this, I want you to do something right here, right now. Do you have a bank account? Do you have an app for your bank account? Well, log into that bank account right now. And here's what I want you to do. Your last 10 transactions. Tell me how much of the money of your last 10 transactions you actually physically held and touched. I will bet my life that you didn't touch any of those funds. Not one red cent did you touch. Why? Because it's all digital. You log into your app. You log into the app on your phone. You pull up the website. You look at your balance and you pay everything that you need to pay. You never physically go into a store. Remember how back in the day where people had to go into either was it a Verizon store and pay their phone bill? I remember Nextel. Nextel is a perfect one because I remember Nextel. Remember the chirps? Remember the chirps, Red? Yeah. I remember I had a chirp and I actually had to physically go into the mall, not only to pay my bill, but I had to physically go into the mall to even buy ringtones. Remember the ringtone game? I remember we used to battle people with the ringtones of the Nextel. Remember that?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
Used to battle people like that. Bro. And then what would you do is you battle people with the ringtones that you have, and then all of a sudden you got people asking you, yo, where you get this ringtone from?
Yeah.
Like, yo, I gotta this little stand inside of the middle of the mall. Remember the stands in the middle of the mall?
Yeah, bro.
Goodness.
Stop it.
I bought some of the best cookies from stands in the middle of the mall. What is it? Mrs. Fields? Oh my gosh. Shawham Mall had this Mrs. Fields. What's the name? This Mrs. Fields stand in the middle of the mall. Best damn cookies that you could ever try. Best damn cookies you could ever try. And guess what? If you go to Willow Grove Mall right now, it's still gonna be an Annie Ann's pretzel stand in the middle of the mall. Best damn pretzels you could get on this planet Earth. I'm telling you. Best. Listen, if you are in here, drop a like because we dropping knowledge. If you remember the Nextel, make sure you put it in the comments. Everybody put in the comments right now if you remember the Nextels. If you remember Nextels, put in the comments that you remember Nextels. If you remember having ringtone battles with your friends, put in the comments right now. Because guess what? You can't do that no more. Why? Because money is digital. You don't go into stores anymore to pay bills. It's very rare that you have a store where you need to go into that motherfucker to pay your bill. Very, very rare. Like I know it's some companies that don't even accept payments in the store. You have to pay online. Why? Because it's cheaper. It's cheaper for them not to have an employee working in a damn store that they're paying $17 an hour to process payments that they can have the customers just go straight online. That's
So,
called direct to consumer. Go ahead, Red. I'm gonna let you go ahead. I'm gonna let you jump in here. But if you are in here, drop a like. If you in here, drop a like.
Listen, going back to the green plan, though, when I was talking about these electric vehicles, you have some that's going to be autonomous. What is autonomous? Autonomous means that they think on their own. So when they think on their own, they already know when a car is in front of them, so they can move.
Okay.
So, and they're doing this with trucks as well. If you got your CDL, just letting you know, you might want to invest in those type of vehicles eventually.
Right.
Stay in the game. So, yeah, it's just eventually a lot of fast food restaurants. It's going to be crazy. When I'm talking about green, I'm not just talking about like just getting rid of gas. I'm talking about robots. I'm talking about eventually it's not going to be a lot of cops patrolling. It's going to be still cops, but eventually it's going to, we're going green.
Right. Well, I got somebody on the screen right now who's telling us that gas is $3.96 right now in Virginia. Matter of fact, what I want y'all to do, put in the comments the highest that you've seen gas. I don't care if it was online. I don't care if you drove by the gas station. I don't care if you heard it from somebody. Put the highest gas price that you've seen in your area, online, that you heard from somebody in the comments. Put the highest gas price. I want to see what people are paying. Because here's the thing.
I know it's like 448 or 49 here.
448 that is absolutely awful. I seen $6-7 in LA in California. What's so crazy about California having such high gas prices is that all of the oil, quote unquote, that was coming from Russia, most of that goes to the west coast of the US. Most of that comes to the west coast. So if we cut out Russia in this oil deal, this petroleum deal, whatever it is, these sanctions and shit like that, if we cut Russia out, the people on the west coast are going to feel the effects the most. And I'm going to tell you what, the people on the west coast ain't tripping, because here's why. Before all of this war, the possibility of World War III, the people on the west coast were already paying $4 and $5 for gas anyway. They were already doing it. And they've been doing it for years. Literally, they've been doing it for years. So it's not something new to them. All right, going to $6-7, that is crazy, but it's not something new to them because they were already doing that. That's where they were primarily getting their oil from Alaska. We talked about that in the beginning of the show, where there's a lot of petroleum in Alaska, and Russia didn't know that. But a lot of the oil on the west coast of the US comes from Russia. It comes from Russia. So that's why we're seeing these spikes in gas happen more in the west coast, on the west side of the US. Here's the thing. All of the gas, all of the oil reserves in the world are being hindered by Joe Biden's Green New Deal. And I'm not sure if Red was gonna talk about this, and I know there's limitations on what he could talk about with this, but he does work for the government. Let me just put that out there. He probably ain't gonna put it out there, but I'm gonna put it out there for him. He works for the government. Is so much that he could actually say, which is probably why he's dancing around everything I'm talking about. But I'm gonna just say it. The reason why this Green New Deal is shady as fuck, because you got the price of oil going up. This Green New Deal is preventing oil companies that are domestic meaning here in the US. The Green New Deal is preventing these companies, these domestic companies, from drilling in our country, from drilling and gathering more oil for us so we can lower the cost of gas. That's what the Green New Deal is effectively doing. It's preventing all of these companies who have access. Listen, I live in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has a ton of oil. It has a ton of oil. Pennsylvania has a lot of oil.
Definitely.
Alaska has a lot of oil. But what happened? Joe Biden implemented this Green New Deal to say, look, whoa. We got to put a halt to all of this oil digging. Why? Why, Joe? Why do we have to do that? Did you not go outside, Joe Biden, and see the price of gas? Joe Biden lives in Delaware. He's from Delaware. No, actually, Joe Biden is from Scranton, and he just lives in Delaware.
Yes, he lives in Delaware.
He lives in Delaware. So wait. So you mean to tell me you live in a state with no state taxes? You live in a state with no state taxes. Your state has no state taxes. You ever tried to live in California, Joe Biden? You ever tried to live in Pennsylvania, Joe Biden? That's probably why you moved from Scranton, PA to Delaware, because of the state taxes. If you lived in a state with state taxes, Joe Biden, ain't no way you can implement the Green New Deal. Ain't no goddamn way. If you lived in a state, let me tell you something like this. If you lived in a state, Joe Biden, with state taxes, you would realize that everything that moves on these roads that we built out here is powered by gas, powered by some form of energy. The number one form of energy in this world is gas. I want y'all to put how much gas, what's the highest price y'all seen gas thus far since the war began, honestly. Put the highest price y'all seen. I mean, just absolutely ridiculous. Listen, Red, I'm gonna let you jump in here again. Is there anything you want to say? Because I think we got our point across with this. We got to revisit this again tomorrow. But is there anything you want to add to what we've been talking about, man? Like I said, I know you got limitations on what you could say, but is there anything that you want to add?
I say this: just be ready for not just even gas to be high. Be ready for bread to be high. Be ready for chicken to be high. Be ready for all of that stuff to be high, because it's gonna be high for basically what we was talking about. That's what it is. It's not only just a war, a physical war, it's a mental war,
an economic war.
Yeah. So that's what I gotta put in right there.
Hey man, I appreciate it, and what I will say, this may be the hardest point that I want to drive home to y'all right here. This may be the hardest point that I may have to drive home to y'all, and this is why I wanted to end the show on this note. So as Riz said, bread is gonna go up. The price of pretty much damn near everything is gonna go up. You want to know what's going to go up that's really, really going to wake a lot of people up? The price of shipping shit is going to go up astronomically. And who is the number one shipper in the U.S.? Amazon. So if you out here ordering shit on Amazon and you think your Prime membership was just going to be $12 a month moving forward so they can ship all the shit that you ordered throughout the month to you, you got another thing coming. Y'all was bitching about Netflix raising their prices from $12 to $20. Wait till you see what Amazon does. And at that, We out of here, man. Really, my boy. I appreciate you coming on the show as always, my boy.
Always, bro.
We might have to make you a unofficial co-host of this shit, man.
Hey, I'm gonna just come up with a name,
Yeah.
Elias.
Yeah. Yeah, do your thing. They already know you for the Sky vodka drinker. They already know you for that. They already know you for the Red the Sky vodka drinker. So you can't really too much, my boy. You feel me? But yo, I appreciate you tapping in for show. Once again, it is your boy John Quick of the Talk That Lingo crew. Talk That Lingo very fast. Like I always say, it's harder to keep money than to get it, and that's why we wanted to bring this very show to you that you're watching today. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Be sure to subscribe. Other than that, we out of here. Gone, bitch.